And we're live! Yeah, that's how the multiplayer works. On Alien vs. Predator 2000. I mean, not what we're playing, what I'm playing.
Well, I'm guessing that that's because the original was used like GameSpy or something like that. But generally, when they swap it out for something like that, it's because the old service was shut down. Hello, everyone. We're talking about Alien vs. 2000. What are we playing today?
A game about punching communists.
Oh, well, we should change the title of the stream.
Ooh, what does it say now?
Gauntlet 4.
I don't have... I'm guessing that you can't do that, huh?
No, I'm not a manager of your channel.
I'll have to fix that, but, do we have a lot of people watching?
No, it says one person, which means probably me.
Should I change it? I'm already in the game.
Okay, is the game alt-tab friendly?
Hold on, I got an idea. Let me try this. Excuse the delay, everyone. Okay, that isn't going to work. For some reason it just won't let me log in on this one browser. Guess I'll open Chrome. Oh, I will. Okay, it should be changed on the other end. You might have to reload it on your end, though.
No, it actually changed instantly the moment you changed it.
Oh, nice.
I didn't know the Googles did that. Now it's just like brutal street fights.
Isn't it great?
My gosh. Do people pay for this? This is like, let's watch the one crazy guy beat all these people up.
Whoa, how did I do that? The green one won't stop moving. And I died.
You may need to adjust your mic a bit. You're picking up on the sound of your keys.
Oh, I am. Well, that happens. I don't know. Yeah, that's exactly where you want to put that. And I died.
Oh wow, he just shanked you.
I think that the pig is somehow supposed to be symbolic of something. Still watching?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's the most unusual premise for a brawler that I've ever seen. Can you refill your syringe at those jerking guys even though it stopped showing you the tooltip?
I don't know. I think you only can when it shows it.
No, it looks like the tooltips are all gone now. For anything.
I guess you can. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna beat this boss. Well,
Does the syringe heal you?
yeah, but not by a whole lot.
One thing you could always do is you could beat up his minions and then use them to refill your syringe.
Only the green ones do it though.
Oh.
There we go.
Every time the scene changes, it flashes that picture uh, uh, of Downton doing Maritos.
Okay.
You know, your default background picture. Every time the scene changes, it flashes it for a few frames.
Oh, crap.
User joined your channel.
Hello.
Hey, we're live.
I noticed my phone sent me the notification that you got.
Are you at work?
Yeah, 15-minute break right now. So I'll be here very briefly. How's it going?
It's going all right. I'm tired.
All right. How was your day, QQ?
It was long. I had energy management issues all day. I was just really low energy. I had trouble getting anything done.
Oh. Well,
Fill
hang
your
in there,
syringe on that guy.
And how are you doing, Rain?
Nope, probably not.
Apparently, this is an actual escort mission, and that guy is getting more and more beat up. Looks like you need to resuscitate him.
I did, but I don't think it helped much. Dang it. Let's try that again.
User joined your channel.
Greetings, everyone. How are y'all doing today?
Rain is beating the ever-loving heck out of some Russian prisoners.
Going alright, you Graham?
I was going to talk to y'all about Donald Trump.
Oh,
We're
we're live.
Okay. I wanted to say that Donald Trump is going to destroy America, and we're all going to die. And
Is this because FBI Director Comey got fired?
yes, exactly that. It's exactly what you think it is. And
He deserved it though.
no, he didn't, because he was looking into Trump in Russia, and Trump and Putin have had
He
one
covered
night stand.
Hillary's ass.
No.
So,
What's going on in here?
so we just have to be clear. Just because, Trump and Putin, just because of all those pictures of them being totally straight as an arrow together came out, doesn't mean that they were coordinating on the campaign.
What are we going on about?
Ask
They were
Gremlin.
totally coordinating on the campaign. They were
Sure,
Russian.
Despite
that's why
no
he. That's
evidence.
why he launched nuclear, or not nuclear.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, oh my gosh, what happened?
Putin told him to launch nuclear weapons at them, and then he'll say, "I'm gonna pretend to hate you for it, but secretly, I think you're awesome for doing it."
Let's get it right. The Russians clearly want to agitate for war to reclaim all their lands and endanger Israeli interests.
So, Graham, if I launched a bomb on, if I launched a Tomahawk missile on Koto, would you be okay with that?
Yeah.
Oh, so what? Sorry about that. Give me a second.
If I
Okay.
launched, oh, okay.
Okay, no, keep saying.
Can't you refill your syringe at those twitching guys?
If you launch the missile, what?
Only for the green.
If you
Oh,
launch a tomahawk. If you launch a tomahawk.
Okay, no, those look like the guards.
whoa.
What are y'all doing anyway?
Punching communists.
What game?
Mother Russia bleeds.
No?
And oh boy, does she. Oh my gosh, she's bleeding all over the place.
Man, the police
Of
batons
course.
suck. Oh, I can take it from anyone who's twitching.
I was telling you! This will make it a lot easier. Now, to
Nope.
heal more often. What's no?
You'll see.
But Gremlin, here's something you're gonna have to come to terms with.
What?
Democrats are wrong about everything. Literally everything.
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
Democrats are wrong about everything. What?
I'm serious.
So I'm reading that Milton Friedman book, and his solutions to things are very interesting because they're not orthodox at all.
Let me rephrase what Flawed just said.
Okay.
SJWs always lie.
No, they don't. They always tell the truth.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, but Graham,
They
All right,
told me
maybe
that
always
it's
6
a
tell the
million.
truth,
Graham, they
Ray.
told me that 6 million Jews died in the Holocaust.
6 gold.
No, they didn't. They all lived. They became.
The bankers.
Well, that
became
was-
the bankers. Oh my god.
User in your channel timed out.
Oh dear.
Don't lie to me, Rain.
No 6 gold.
Okay, on a serious note about this, what is it? What is your opinions on net neutrality?
I'm not sure what to think about it anymore.
I tend to think that it's the wrong solution to the right problem.
Okay.
Do you know why they even need the government to intervene in this case? There's only one reason.
Why?
It's because internet service is an uncompetitive market.
Yep.
So if instead the problem was solved that there was plenty of choice of internet service providers, so if one started shitting all over you and, for example, blocking Netflix, you could just switch to another one, this wouldn't even be an issue.
Huh.
Yep.
So I kind of look at policies that people do as pushing in one of two directions. And in this case, I don't think either party is pushing in the right directions. Because the Conservative Party is doing the pro-business thing. But in this case, the issue is that you can't really be pro-business when there's no competition. Being pro-business needs to be augmented by having a market. You need to be pro-market, not pro-business. And if you're pro-market, then everything will work out. Fingers crossed.
In other words, it has to be pro-consumer.
Yes. Well, it somewhat. I mean, you can have eventually.
Wait, hold on.
Eventually,
No,
things
sorry.
will become pro-consumer.
Why are the guards trying to rape me? What?
If you give the consumer a choice, but that's the crucial bit. Wait, the guards are trying to rape you? No, they're trying to cuff you.
Oh, okay.
Why are the guards trying to rape you?
The prisoners did try
Because
to
he's
rape you.
beating up the prison.
Actually, it's worse than that. He actually triggered a prison riot. So it's been an absolute free-for-all brawl with the guards and the prisoners beating the ever-loving heck out of each other.
Sweet.
And now there's all the families in the background in the visitation booths who are all alarmed at what's going on, and one is actually just sitting there eating popcorn, no joke.
Of course.
But yeah, so that solution isn't going to work, because what's going to happen is it puts ISPs in this position to strong-arm everyone. The other solution doesn't work either, though, and that is increased regulation of ISPs in such a way that doesn't increase the competitiveness of the market. All that you're doing is you're slapping a band-aid on the solution. You're making it so that they don't do the thing that they really want to do in the meantime until they can put such a structure into place that they can undo it again. Because that's all that it's going to do, is they're going to keep rent-seeking until they end up making more and more money, because there's no competition.
Like, remember when, what was it, the one where they passed a law so that the ISPs can sell your data now.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
None of this
now?
would be an issue if internet service was a competitive market. The issue is, how does it become competitive? And it's one of those weird edge cases where it's really hard for it to do so, because it requires a large outlet of capital in order
There's
to
a large
set it up.
overhead cost.
And the second problem is if the market ends up being very redundant when it comes to establishing that infrastructure. it's like the problem with roads that you often hear used against libertarians, right? The road problem, the roads. The issue with roads is if someone builds a road and you want to build a competitive road, there's no room. Similarly, if someone builds an ISP and you want to build a competitive ISP, well, you're going to have to dig up all their fiber optics and lay down your own fiber optics right next to the fiber optics that they've already put in.
Aren't there? Don't they already have that in the UK though? Where
What?
any grocery store can open their own ISP service.
What does? Okay, I'm trying to.
What
follow
did you say?
You.
Cut off.
I'm trying to follow you because what is it? I'm having trouble listening to you and playing this game at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, I'm playing Shovel Knight because I'm trying to finish it, and I forgot where I'm at in it, and that's my brain kind of accidentally. I'm trying to listen because I'm trying to understand. All right. Okay. So, can you do me a favor and abridge what you just said in a easy to digestible way? I'll just
All of
ask
it,
you
or
questions.
just the recent bit?
Okay. Okay, net neutrality. People say Trump is trying to turn back net neutrality. Why?
Well, him and the Republican Congress are. They're trying to repeal it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that you can generally think of. There's really two sides to anything that can be broken down into an economic argument.
Okay.
There's one side which is we need to do what's right for the consumer, and the only way that the consumer is going to get a fair shake in some cases is if the government steps in.
Okay.
The other side follows the general philosophy of you actually, since it's been proven, and it has, that in the presence of a competitive market where people have the freedom to choose, an optimal solution is often found that balances the interest of the consumer and the interest of the person providing the good or service over time. You don't really need a large government bureaucracy to provide these things. All that you need to do is ensure that the market remains competitive. And it's always this balance. Do I support the businesses and try to make them competitive? Or do I support the consumer and try to do it top down and make it so that the businesses can't behave in a manner that's bad for the consumer? Because
So in other words, it doesn't matter what they do with net neutrality? Is what you're trying to say?
it's not going to matter because the market isn't competitive. The right solution is to go, all right, in some way we need to make the ISP market so that there's at least more than one of them in each market. Then they don't even need to pass net neutrality legislation, because unless they collude with each other, carrying Netflix cheaply is going to become a selling point.
That's the point I always point out whenever anyone crows about net neutrality. We have Comcast actively lobbying to prevent Google from establishing fiber optic lines in many cities where they're doing test runs. What the fuck kind of money do you think Comcast is able to throw when a mom and pop ISP pops up and starts competing with their shit? I mean,
well,
it's a fucking racket. It really fucking is. And quite frankly, I'm in favor of anything that exposes it to the public at large for the fucking scam that it is.
So
you want a big government solution that doesn't involve net neutrality at all? I'll give you a big government solution. The government comes in and says that the fiber that's in the ground is treated like a public utility, but everything past the switching box is in charge of the ISPs. And literally anyone who can build their own switching box and everything beyond can set up their own ISP then.
Alternatively, we just nationalize the entire fucking internet and treat it like the highway system.
Yep, that's another option. I think you have to get them to shoot something specific here.
Yeah.
He needs to realize that beating the shit out of commies is not a violation of the non-aggression principle.
I'll be getting going now. See y'all later.
Get out.
I have to
Okay,
get
I
back
got
to
him
work now.
shoot one of the ones marching by, but that didn't do anything.
Later, everybody.
See ya.
Have a good one.
User disconnected from your channel.
Come on.
I don't know what you have to do here.
Maybe there's a bug.
Maybe you
Yeah,
have to shoot
supposed
the
to
light
be.
out?
Okay.
Is there one other big thing that you can see that you can shoot?
Man, I forgot where I'm at in Shovel
No.
Knight.
You playing the main game or the DLC?
The main game. I'm just gonna have to guess.
I was really disappointed with the end boss of that game.
What, Shovel Knight?
Yeah.
I played it on the 3DS and I just,
Oh, it's on 3DS?
yeah. But I was playing it on my nephew's save and I had cheats on, so I ended up cheating my way through the game. But now I'm playing it legit. I was playing it already legit on my Steam account. I just don't know where I'm at now. But I beat the game cheating on my 3DS. Oh. Fucking crap. So what does this all...
You can't break into the gun case here, by the way?
So basically this whole, like, you know, this whole net neutrality issue is just a non-issue then, basically.
It's a symptom of a much bigger problem that no one is dealing with.
We need certain consumer protections in place. The problem with that is, once you do that, there's no incentive to make it competitive. So, what is best for the consumer that is the shortest step is some kind of net neutrality provision. That's the shortest distance from here to something that's good for the consumer. Now, but if you want to think long term, then you need to find some way to establish a competitive market so you don't even need to regulate that little thing.
And here's
Because
the
look-
sad part. We can blame the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals for fucking shit up yet again, because this, again, would be a non-issue if it weren't for a certain court ruling in their court. Because if the only thing these rule changes are gonna do is basically say, these things are regulated by the Federal Trade Commission instead of the fucking Federal Communication Commission, or whatever the fuck the alphabet soup name is. I don't remember off the top of my goddamn head.
It would be like the following case, right? Let's say that every single road in the country was privately owned by one company, and they started charging different prices to different people. And the solution was, hey, let's make the government come in and make it so that they charge a fair price to everyone. No, the problem is not that the roads are all owned by. The problem is not that the roads are that they're charging a fair price. The problem is that some private company has a monopoly on road ownership. That's probably a bad analogy because our roads are currently nationalized, but hey, it's the best I got.
So basically, people want the government to control the internet.
Yeah, but this is to explain what net neutrality gives you, right? Well, it doesn't so much affect you directly as it affects companies like Netflix, right? So
All
treating
it
Netflix
said-
neutrally means that if Netflix versus any other website, the ISP has to give them the same precedent when it comes to routing their traffic. In other words, they can't say to Netflix, hey, let's say I'm Comcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want access to our customers because you're Netflix and you're a big company, you have to pay us extra money. Or else we won't route your
Oh,
traffic.
that was easy.
I think I know what glitched out the first time. That boss
Okay.
guy ran off screen
Yeah.
before he came back.
Okay, QQ, repeat what you just said, real quick.
So with net neutrality, the ISPs have to route everyone's traffic as if they're equals. Without net neutrality, an ISP could go to Netflix and say, if you want access to our customers, you're going to have to pay more. Otherwise, we're going to block Netflix so that they can't access it.
That sounds bad.
Yes, it is.
It's even
But
worse
here's the
if
thing.
say you're a media site like QQ Media or whatnot that posts opinions that are contrary to the mainstream.
Yeah, so the current solution is the government comes in and says, no, you are a communications medium, you have to provide fair access, net neutrality is the law of the land. So you can't do that. The alternate is, now imagine if you were in a city, right, and there are 5 different ISPs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them says, hey, our competitors are all blocking Netflix, but we're not. Which are you going to choose?
Our competitors are blocking, but I'm going to choose the ones that don't block Netflix.
Exactly. Problem partially solves itself. Now let's say that Netflix actually comes up with agreements with some of these ISPs. Netflix is going to have to pass on that cost to the consumer. So let's say Netflix says, hey, if you sign up for these 4 ISPs, we're going to charge you this much. But this one ISP is being fair to us. And so we can actually give you a big discount if you're using this other ISP. Again,
Okay, I'm confused what you're trying to say here, because, okay, let me try to follow this real quick. Are you telling me that net neutrality is bad or good?
It's neither.
Okay,
It's a compromise.
Let me put it this way. I'll use this example. Annie, in the old days of railroads, it used to be companies that owned all these different things, and like they would exclusively use their railroads for their own interests at the expense of their competitors. Well, around the late 19th century, the US government stepped in and said, fuck you, if someone pays to freight something across your railroad, you don't get to just step in and fuck with that because it's one of your competitors. You have to treat that freight like every other piece of freight. So long as they pay the bill, it gets on the train.
Alright.
That's net neutrality in a nutshell.
Yeah, I know that net neutrality is basically places can't they can't discriminate between what traffic of other places are, right?
Yes.
Right.
More or less,
Now,
that's all it says. Is that
well, that means that net neutrality is a good thing, right? So
it's
the
a
shortest
good
distance
thing.
to a good place.
Oh.
It's a good
The
thing,
long
but here's
distance to the
problem.
ideal solution is different, and that would be make ISP markets competitive.
Oh.
The difference is that net neutrality would be a state of being for the internet. You're confusing policy versus how the internet actually works. And as it stands, even with net neutrality, Comcast and all these different ISPs can fuck with your traffic in all manner of ways.
Like
and
bandwidth
still,
caps.
Bandwidth
caps
caps,
is one.
data
Another
caps.
one that actually doesn't get covered by most net neutrality legislation is they can quality of service your traffic depending on what it looks like. So in other words, they can go, this looks like streaming traffic, so we're going to make it low priority.
Yeah, it's like they
can't go, this looks like Netflix traffic, so we're going to make it low priority. They can go, this looks like streaming traffic, so we're going to make it low priority. And this affects Netflix and Google and Hulu and everyone.
Yeah, it's like it's net neutrality with a massive fucking asterisk attached. Because realistically speaking, you cannot have true net neutrality without basically your network becoming unusable because it will basically be overburdened by all kinds of traffic that most things really should not be allowed to go through, like DDoS attacks, spam, absurd amounts of streaming and torrenting use and all that kind of shit. Because you need to understand that a lot of things that would be restricted by a lot of ISPs in a competitive market would only be done if it's a case of everyone's traffic suffers if we don't do this.
So,
go on.
it's one of these things to which there is no good solution. And the ideal solution is probably never going to happen, which again, I would say, would be a competitive market for ISPs. In other words, you choose the best ISP that suits your purposes, and there's a market. It's not just you're in a Comcast area, you're in a Cox area, you're in a Time Warner area, whatever. It's you have all these different ISPs to choose from, and you can pick the one that suits exactly your needs.
And you want to know what the sad part about all of this is? Much of this problem is because the ISPs fucking defrauded the American taxpayer way back in the day.
Absolutely.
Didn't update their infrastructure to fiber optics away from broadband in general. Half of these issues wouldn't be here if all of our infrastructure was a fiber optic connection. Okay, it's a matter of, I really don't care at this point. I just care of, does Comcast suffer under rules we make? That's my litmus test of, do these businesses and companies get to suffer for what they've done? If not, then I consider it bad fucking rules. Of course, then again, I'm also the kind of guy that's like, I want Donald Trump to step up and say we're nationalizing the entirety of all ISPs at this point.
So,
What does nationalizing mean, anyway?
Nationalizing
means
means the
that
government
the
owns
government would eminent domain all the ISPs in
Like
America. and they
Obamacare?
would own it. Bro, fuck you.
No, like the roads.
Like the property that's used to build the roads, or for things that the government needs land to use for public interest.
So here's some things that people have said in the chat. Lindsay says, talking about net neutrality, here in the UK, I don't think there's ever been an issue with net neutrality because there are like half a dozen national ISPs and more regional ones. If any of them tried this shit, they'd never be able to compete.
Exactly.
Remy points out that Templar is an idiot because AT&T and Verizon did lay out the fiber, but they're not required to lease it to the cable companies like Comcast, since they're privately owned.
Okay, you
Well,
can
you're telling
call
me
me a
AT&T is better
retard, and
internet
yet
provider?
you're never going to even address
No,
the fact
they-
that they got 250 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars over a 10-year period under certain regs and agreements with the U.S. government to
They're
update
nuts.
their infrastructure. Yeah, just shut. You have no clue what you're talking about.
There is a lot of dark fiber now.
Mm-hmm. All I know is the only reason they weren't dragged to court is because by the time people figured out what they were doing, the statute of limitations had already passed.
Wow, you're moving up in the world. So you started.
Y'all guys
started
make
by
me want to go
beating up
move into
near-de-
Europe.
Near-dead medical experiments. Now,
Yeah, but
then
Graham,
you started
Europe's
beating
got
up
their own
prisoners. Next, you beat up a bunch of junkies, and now you're beating up whores. This is like the most. Like. What are you doing?
I don't know.
Man, this stage is big.
The fuck?
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh good, I don't gotta do the whole thing again.
Yeah, so for Lindsay's reference, we have many places in the country where there is one choice of ISP. You may have, if you're lucky, have a choice between DSL and cable, but that all depends on how close you are to the offices of the cable company or the offices of the DSL box. Like,
I got cable.
You can have phone service that is good enough to call someone on the phone line, and yet it's too far from the whatever switchboard or whatever to be strong enough for the actual DSL.
I got cable.
Yeah, you probably don't have a choice of ISPs. You probably have one.
Yeah, I only got one ISP.
So that's one of the reasons why net neutrality is actually a thing here, is because there is no competition.
Oh, so it doesn't affect me. Anyway, it wouldn't affect me anyway.
It does affect you. It wouldn't affect you if you lived in the UK.
Oh. Wait, so my ISP can be shit, and there's nothing I can do about it?
Yep.
Oh,
Pretty
that
much.
Sucks.
Why are these idiots throwing the bottles at the table? Why not throw them over at the guy who is shooting at them?
Remy says, lol, Dan got killed by a flying Pepsi can. I know! That shouldn't happen. Pepsi's the drink of peace. You know, if you're at a protest or a riot, you just pull out the Pepsi can and suddenly everything's resolved. Lindsay says, just make your own ISP. Gosh, it can't be that hard. That's what Google has tried to do. I don't know why they're still trying.
Look, Google tried to make a bunch of fiber, and what happened is that Comcast used their army of lobbyists to try to stop them, and it cost them quite a bit of money just to fight them off, to get them to piss off. Now imagine that kind of shit coming out of mom and pop ISP. Do you think they have the pockets to go toe-to-toe with Comcast?
That's bull. Why would they just attack them for trying to make their infrastructure better?
That's how rent-seeking works. If there is no competitive market, it becomes in your best interest to spend money in order to make sure it stays that way.
That's so bunk. So fucking bullshit. There's so much fucking bullshit. That's such bull.
Yeah, the whole system is bullshit, and the only solution is one that's distant, and that's the solution of somehow getting a competitive market in there.
Well, if you create an
We're nowhere near
internet
that.
group,
It's
if you create an internet group that didn't have bandwidth caps and was cheaper than cable here, I would have gotten it.
yeah, everyone would have, and the cable company would have had to remove their cap and lower the bill.
Yeah. But what's stopping a company from doing that? Because there's plenty of people who will want that.
It's because there's when you lay the fiber, it's really hard.
There's all
Shoot.
kinds of state rules, federal rules, local and property rules. You gotta check and make sure you're in compliance with before you can even send people to dig the fucking thing.
Yeah, because you're not drinking trenches on your own property. You're drinking your trenches on private property owned by people, and you're drinking your trenches on government property, public lands. So you need permission from a whole bunch of people, or some way of claiming eminent domain temporarily while you lay your fiber down.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh, I got died. Alright. But yeah. It's still, I mean, that also reaction can apply to that.
Remy says that is going, Google Internet sounds great idea. They never censor anything, right, Goim? Look at how they run Google and YouTube. It's perfect. Well, here's the thing. I'd rather take 2 paused ISPs than 1 paused ISP. 2 paused ISPs at least can say, use how non-paused they are as a selling point. 1 paused ISP can just say, bend over and take it.
Take it, you whore.
It's like this. I don't like Google as a company, but anything that helps challenge and break Comcast's fucking stranglehold over a lot of markets, along with other ISPs, is a good thing, is a step in the right direction, if you ask me. Because it's like it's like this. You assume they're not going to be doing similar shit to what Google is doing already. Or that, it's a case of they just are not nearly as public.
Yeah, maybe, and I have a feeling that eventually that's going to be dealt with as some kind of price-fixing agreement.
What is?
ISPs essentially have informal, don't compete things. Like AT&T and
You cut out.
Verizon both lay down fiber and do this in the same area.
You cut out.
They don't do it in the same area. In fact, they refuse to service the same area. They have agreements with each other not to compete.
That is bullshit.
It is.
And in any other market, that would be illegal. Like, for example, for a while, computer RAM was really expensive, and everyone was wondering, why is this so darn expensive? Like, the prices haven't come down at all, despite all these increases in technology all over the place. Everything that's used to make computer memory is used to make other parts.
You're just going in and out.
I heard him.
RAM.
You're going in and out.
He's talking about how computer RAM prices remained relatively stagnant for a long time, even though everything to build computer RAM would indicate there was a lot more supply and therefore it could go down.
So they actually looked into it and they found out that the manufacturers of the RAM colluded with each other in order to keep prices artificially high. And they got into big trouble for that. Likewise, a similar thing happened with monitors for a while. Monitors, everything used to make a monitor was going down in price, indicating that there was more supply. which means that as a result, monitors should be able to go down in price as well. But they didn't. So they looked into it and they found out monitor manufacturers were colluding with each other in order to price fix, in order to keep prices artificially high. And they got in trouble for that. But ISPs do something similar, where they basically collude with each other in order to make sure that the market isn't competitive. And yeah, you just get fucked.
There is no
How am I
easy
supposed to beat this boss? Like
by not being a scrub.
Ah, come on.
I beat Plague Knight by using the Chaos Spear.
Lindsay says, smack the broad into the combine harvester. But it doesn't look like she moves like the other people. Like, she doesn't, call it. She
I
doesn't.
know, I'm trying to.
Can
The only
you
thing I
throw
can
her?
think is.
Like, is there a grapple button of some kind?
The only thing I think is to trick her into going into the thing, but. No, so close! Ah! Okay, I think I figured it out. I just gotta get the baseball bat, then bash her into the thing.
Oh, yeah, she gets knocked back with the
Yeah.
baseball bat. Okay.
Now that's some sexism if I ever heard.
Well, this is not exactly a very PC game. I mean, he spent the first few levels beating up the disadvantaged dregs of society.
Come on! Ah!
Making your boots. Oh, what the fuck? Talk about lag.
What's the story behind this lady? Why is she, like, what's going on at this point of the plot?
Whoa! There we go. Should I stop here or keep going? Q?
This might be a good stopping point.
Okay. If it'll let me. There we go. Good night, everyone.